Tickets for the opening and closing ceremonies of Carifesta 10 have all been distributed.
President Barra Jagdeo urges the public to be supportive of the measures implemented for the smooth running of the festival.
And CXC results are here, and unconfirmed reports say an Anna Regina student topped with 14 grade 1s and 2 grade 2s.
GD News, eye on the judiciary, tips to healthy living, and the latest sporting action, the Diamond Mineral Water and Sport News, and more after these. Do stay tuned. Good evening, I am Janelle Prasad.
And I'm Paul Moore.
With this edition of the 6 o'clock news for today, Thursday, August 21, 2008. Paul.
Thanks, Janelle. Hundreds of persons lined up outside of distribution booths in Georgetown for Carifesta tickets today. While some were able to get their hands on the passes, many were left disappointed as tickets for the opening and closing ceremonies are done. And Culture Minister Dr. Frank Anthony says while responses have been overwhelming for the opening and closing, the seating arrangements at the National Stadium are limited. Here's that report.
NCN visited the Carifesta Secretariat this morning and met with several angry protesters who claimed that they were unable to access tickets at the venue. This was verified by an official who stated that the process was halted since the Secretariat had several other things to do. Lines outside of the National Cultural Center, Sophia Exhibition Center and Cliff Anderson Sports Hall were no different from yesterday, as many persons waited anxiously for a chance to uplift tickets. However, by midday, the tickets for the opening and closing ceremonies were out and persons had to accept whatever was being distributed. Culture Minister Dr. Frank Anthony sought to clarify the ticket distribution today at a special pre-Carifesta press briefing.
I can understand people's frustration when they're standing in a line and they want to get a ticket. I can understand that. And you know what some people have been saying to me, in hindsight, it's probably better if you would put a cost to the ticket, because then that probably would have avoided some of the things that you were having. We took a policy decision that we want as much people as possible to enjoy Carifesta and to make it free.
The minister told the media that while there have been overwhelming responses for these tickets, the seating arrangements at the National Stadium are limited.
Where we have positioned the stage, and the stage was technically positioned because of the sound direction and all that. So the sound engineer people advised that that would be the appropriate position for the stage. But by positioning the stage in that direction, we've basically taken off the mound. And that would have seated about 4,000 people. In addition to that, we have made provisions for the delegations that are coming and the participants, because as I told you, there will be about 3,000 odd people participating. We have set aside a stand for those people to have a seat.
He has noted that tickets for the Grand Market events, super concerts and performing arts are still available.
But physically, we can only have so many people at the venue, because it's not only about just wanting to give away tickets. We have looked at the security, we have looked at other public safety issues, and that is why we have a limit to the venue. We don't want a lot of people to come in, and then we don't have the safety features in place to deal with any unfortunate incident.
The open-air events, including those at the National Park, do not require tickets. Meanwhile, the National Communications Network will be broadcasting the opening and closing ceremonies live for those who may not be able to attend. Reporting for the 6 o'clock news, I'm Shardalal.
In the meantime, President Barra Jagdeo has urged the public to be supportive in the measures implemented for the smooth running of the festival. He has also thanked the 6,000 Guyanese who have been actively involved in planning the 10-day mega event. Here's more.
To know that we appreciate their hard work so far and that they'll continue to work over the next several days to ensure that we have a well-organized and an excellent festival. And I want to thank Minister Anthony for his leadership role so far.
President Barra Jagdeo is appealing to Guyanese to be understanding, especially with the limited ticket situation for Carifesta events. He says alternative arrangements are being examined for persons desirous of attending events other than the opening and closing ceremonies.
With the super concerts, we have many more tickets because the people who go to these concerts can use the ground too, and the stand. So you'd have maybe as much as 30,000 tickets issued for each of these super concerts. We are still looking at the possibility, not for the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony, but for some of the other activities to accommodate a few more people.
He is also urging Guyanese to be supportive of the security measures implemented for the 10-day event. Security plans are set to be comprehensive, even encompassing the community policing groups, with some support from CARICOM member states.
The operational order covers all the regions of Guyana, not just the venues where we would have activities, because we don't want to deplete our capability in the other regions to respond to any incident they may have in those regions by concentrating only on the venues for activities. So this operational order, as I said before, covers the whole country. We'll be on an elevated state of alertness throughout the country, that is the security forces. They'll all be in line.
Meanwhile, so far, 3 heads of state are slated to attend the festival. They are Dr. Ralph Gonzalez of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Baldwin Spencer of Antigua and Barbuda, and President Ronald Venetian of Suriname. A number of ministers with responsibility for culture from around the Caribbean are also expected to grace these shores, at least for the opening ceremony. The Caribbean Festival of Arts is returning to Guyana 36 years after the initial event. The theme for the 10th Caribbean Festival of Arts is One Caribbean, One Purpose, Our Culture, Our Life. Reporting for the 6 o'clock news, I'm Delicia Fletcher.
The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit has intercepted $1.5 million worth of cocaine in several outgoing postcards at the Guyana Post Office Corporation. According to a Kanu official, this is the biggest bust in any one day at the post office since the existence of Kanu. Edward Lane reports.
Kanu ranks around 9 hours 30 today unearthed the drugs in several postcards destined for the United States. A Kanu official told reporters that the cards came from several local addresses and were sent to the same address in the U.S.
Each envelope contains 2 cards laminated with one plastic packet of cocaine concealed in the card, and it has a total weight in the vicinity of 200 grams.
According to the official, the drug has a street value of about $5,000 or 1 million Guyana dollars. The same official notes that the addresses of the senders are being investigated, noting that they have already checked out one of the addresses and no one by that name was found there, while some of the others are fictitious. Kanu officials believe this find is linked to those on August 7 and 8, where some 65 grams of the illegal substance was found concealed in 4 postcards destined for Holland.
I'm not a handwriting technician, but from a layman's point of view, I think that they are linked when I compare handwriting. But this is the largest amount of cocaine we found one day in mails since Kanu has been intercepted.
Again at 13 hours 45, the ranks of the post office intercepted another 5 envelopes with an additional 100 grams of the illegal substance. According to Kanu, one of the parcels are from the sender this morning, while the others are from a different sender, all destined for the United States. The official says the trend of drugs being posted in mails is becoming a concern for Kanu, and they are making every effort to end this act. Edward Lane, the 6 o'clock news.
Still to come, President Barry Jagdeo names Henry Green as his candidate for the post of police commissioner, even as opposition leader Robert Corbyn is to yet confirm his choice.
And CXC results are here, and unconfirmed reports say an Anna Regina student topped with 14 grade 1s and 2 grade 2s. But first, these messages.